All right, welcome back. Part two, everybody. Blue collar whiskey drinkers. We're doing part two of the Pendleton versus Crown. So this is the Canadian whiskeys, and we did part one last week, which went pretty well. So I'm going to run through the scores real quick for the Crown Royal neat and the Pendleton neat. So Pendleton was a 3.6 neat score, which pretty good. Had a weird smell, I think it was just kind of a chemical smell. Crown Royal slightly better, didn't have that chemically smell, a little smoother, but we ended up giving it a 3.8 because it was really smooth. But we did like the Pendleton's kind of bourbon-esque, which is kind of more our style, but the smell just kind of was throwing us off. But we also did it in Coke. So we did Pendleton and Coke, and then we also did Crown Royal and Coke, obviously. And those two scores were for Crown Royal, it was 4.5. So pretty high score for Coke. And we've known this, me and Robbie, drank tons of Crown and Coke when we were in our younger days. But, so 4.5. And then Pendleton wasn't far behind. I think we ended up with a 4.2.
Yeah, 4.2.
4.2. So nipping at the heels. So right now, Pendleton is a little behind Crown Royal, but I think in these two ways, Pendleton's going to make up some ground on Crown.
Hopefully, the smell gets a little bit better with Pendleton.
Now that it's been open a little longer,
Yeah. So we're reviewing it tonight, of course, on the rocks for Pendleton and Crown Royal, and we're going to finish out the night with Old Fashions and see which one wins tonight. My money would just be Pendleton right now. I would lean towards, but Crown Royal is just a solid whiskey all around. We know this, but we just don't know how well it's going to stack up as far as score wise. So looking forward to these two whiskeys. Pendleton's kind of, that underdog we didn't really know about till, a few weeks ago. And then, we've seen it, but we just really didn't know anything about it. But we've always known about Crown for the past, 15, 20, almost 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, I've had Pendleton a few times previously, but not enough to really know it,
Yeah.
So, well, we got our whiskeys poured on ice.
Yeah.
So,
cheers.
Cheers, bro. What do you think of the smell?
Almost, it's kind of sweet, but almost not there. Not much. There's nothing bad to it. Like there's a hint of a sweetness as far as the smell goes, but it's very, very light.
It's very vodka-esque. I don't know. It reminds me of vodka on the ice.
See, drinking it though, it doesn't taste like I'm drinking a whiskey.
No, it tastes like vodka.
No.
I wonder if they make this with vodka and they blend it. I'm just curious. Very, doesn't taste like whiskey.
No, it goes down good.
Yeah, I mean,
but there's almost even no flavor. On the tongue, I'm not getting much.
No.
A very subtle of a sweetness with alcohol.
Yeah, with vodka.
So
it's weird. It's weird.
But yeah, it's very vodka-esque.
Yeah. I guess if you like vodka, everybody, Pendleton might be your thing on ice.
Not so much. My mom does. She'd probably like this.
Yeah. Little, yeah, I mean, it has a little sweet,
You know, next time my
but
mom's over, pour this for her on the rocks. I bet she'll like it.
ugh, it's getting me
But
a little
it's
bit there.
yeah, it's very vodka-esque, especially the more you drink it as it's getting watered down.
Mhm.
One thing, it does chew up the ice. It's
Does it?
pretty, yeah, it's pretty quick on chewing it up.
I haven't been paying attention. Yeah, it is kind of getting it.
So very interesting. Did not expect this at all.
Yeah,
I
no,
definitely,
I thought it was going to do better.
yeah, I definitely, I want to try it neat later on tonight,
I
just
do
to
too.
see how it's been after a week, and I'll even do Crown, but
Yeah, I want to a recap on that too. I was gonna talk to you about that. I really wanted to redo it.
yeah,
The smell's a little better. It's a little sweeter. It smells like a little bit more vanilla-ish, but it's still got that chemical smell to me. Maybe it's that ethanol
yeah, definitely
vodka.
sweeter. But yeah, I honestly think the alcohol's, yeah, it's that we. It doesn't smell like a normal whiskey alcohol type. It's.
Oh man.
I wonder if I went and grabbed a vodka. Nah, it's cheap vodka. It'd be like smell like ass. This smells like, honestly, probably a higher end vodka, I would say.
You know what's funny? I was at a wedding and they had like this recently, there was no hard alcohol, but they had like it was like a whiskey, but it was like made from like sake.
Oh yeah,
This reminds me of that a little bit, just because it's such a faint whiskey flavor, but then it's got the vodka. I don't know. This reminds
yeah.
it did obviously that was lower proof, a lot lower. Just kind of reminded me that that's that taste.
Speaking of sake, we definitely need to get a Japanese whiskey on,
Yeah,
especially since
we'll do one before the end of the year.
yeah, well, especially since the um gosh, why am I spacing the collab with
Tastes like water now.
Legion?
Not just it just tastes like water now. I
The
swear to God.
collab with Legion. Um, that guy's a Japanese distiller, so
Yeah. Hmm.
we should definitely. I got his name. I'll look up what whiskey he distills, and maybe we could try to do that one.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just tastes like water now, dude. Like,
Well,
have you
no,
ever had those calorie saving you just put like uh mostly with vodka and then you just put some water in it and
yeah,
some mint leaves.
yeah. You know, this one would be, if you don't mind that taste of like vodka and everything. Um, this one would be a dangerous one on the rocks, because after a little bit,
Mhm.
it's like drinking water. You get a little hint of alcohol at the end, but very little.
Yeah, I wonder if people that like vodka like Pendleton.
That's what I'm saying. Next time my mom's over at your house,
Yeah.
you need to have her try this one.
Yeah. The score is going to be tough for me on this one just because we did have recently not so good of a whiskey
Yeah.
on ice, which was the Michter's.
Yeah, the Michter's Dry.
For
I think
me,
gosh,
I think that I think the Michter's Rye was better for a hair.
same.
You
That's
know,
what I'm thinking.
um, this is not a whiskey that like this is not something I'd ever drink on the rocks again.
Nope.
If you're a whiskey drinker, this is not
Yeah.
not it. So I'm gonna give this a 2. Because I mean, if we gave that other one a 2.5, maybe this is a 2.4, but it's worse than the other one.
Yeah. Um,
You know what I
I
mean?
gave it a 2.2, so honestly, we could settle 2.1.
Okay,
I'm not
2.1.
a, unfortunately, as much as I want this one to be
Yeah, I know.
good,
So did
it's,
I. I was really rooting for it to be like I thought like it would be better on the rocks for some reason, just because it
yeah,
had that more like almost like a more bourbonish, not really bourbony-ish, but you know what I mean, a little bit
yeah,
more our
no,
style.
yeah, no, it
Neat,
definitely did.
but
Just not a fan. So far, it's the best way to drink this whiskey's Coke. Um, but
it's a mixer.
if you do have Crown, it's
It's a toss-up. I
yeah.
mean, you
Which
may
you
like
know,
you may like the Pendleton more,
yeah. And
but
like I
we
was
like.
talking to one of the guys at the liquor store today, he even said he's like, you're gonna find those things that yeah, maybe a lot of people like, but then some people may not like it, and vice versa. He's like,
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, I completely agree. That's why we ask you guys to try these whiskeys yourself. Don't take our word for it. Because you may like the taste and the smell and everything with Pendleton. And it's not a bad whiskey neat. It's a 3.6. So
yeah,
it's a pretty good, like, I'll drink it again neat. I'll try it out tonight. So,
yeah. I'm gonna try it again, Nate, tonight for sure. I mean, dude, like, here's the thing, like we, you know, we may think this one thing like this way, like these scores and everything, but yeah, everybody's got their own taste profile, and so
yeah.
it could be different for everybody else or anybody else, but also I think there was something I was wanted to mention, like everybody poo-poos on Crown, but I think it's because Crown's so big and everyone's seen Crown for so long. Nobody likes like the
Yeah.
the main brand stuff like anymore. So everybody poo-poos on stuff that's really popular nowadays, I think. And
Yeah.
so every time I talk, somebody mentions Crown, everyone's like, "Oh, it's terrible." Like, I mean, there's a lot terribler whiskeys out there than
Oh, yeah.
Crown at the $20 mark. So
Oh, even
I mean,
worse than Pendleton. So
oh yeah, I mean, so like
I
it's
was,
it's
and in Canada, because I was looking at the Canadian section at the whiskey or the liquor store,
mhm.
and I know for a fact there's whiskeys on that shelf that will be below these two,
Oh,
way below.
100%,
So
100%. The
um,
RR.
that one's gonna be rough, dude. That one's gonna be a rough one.
It was funny. I was watching a podcast of recently, or not a podcast, a YouTube of the Whiskey Tribe,
Mhm.
and those guys they did like all the bottom shelves, and one of the whiskeys that they did was that one. Like they had a bunch of Canadian ones on there, and like
Yeah.
like bottom shelf bourbons, and it's just funny. So
Alrighty, everybody. So we gave this one, we settled on 2.1 for this one on the rocks. It just really doesn't taste like a whiskey at all. It tastes like vodka. I'm not a
no,
fan of vodka.
me neither.
So this is man, it could go lower. It's a generous score, I feel like, out of two. Like, I
It is
really
because
want,
we don't like we don't like vodka at all, really. I mean,
yeah. And
so
honestly, this one I could see definitely falling down in the charts. Just Pendleton, I was just expecting more out of you this week. I was hoping you'd come in strong. Unfortunately, not. But I'm still holding hope for old fashioned for you. So I want
yeah,
you to come
again,
out and just kick the shit out of Crown.
I was hoping again. Just remember, people, this is just our opinions. Your
Yes.
opinion may differ, so try it for yourselves. All right, man. Well, let's grab Crown. Let's move on to the Crown on Ice
Yeah.
and see how
Let's
that
do it.
does.
We'll
All
grab it.
right.
All right, everybody. We're back. We're about to pour our Crown Royal and on the rocks. So here we go.
All right. So I know from having Crown many times that it's going to be better than that.
Yeah. So you guys know, we discussed after we got off last time and before we came on, We went ahead and lowered the score down just to 2.0. It just wasn't good. It left a really bad aftertaste in my mouth for a while. I was
Yeah.
like, I gotta go take a drink of water or something. This is just not good. So unfortunately for Pendleton, we knocked it down to a 2.0. Yeah, just unfortunate, but it is what it is. And
I don't think there's a recovery from that one. I think it's I mean,
that may be the nail in the coffin, but who knows? This could be a cocktail whiskey, or Pendleton could be a cocktail whiskey where
strictly
it is
at least for us.
Yeah, and it's pretty good with Coke. It's not the best, but it is pretty good. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think this is chill enough. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's good enough.
All right, cheers.
Cheers, bro.
This already has a better color to it.
Better color, better smell. The vanilla.
Yeah, actually has a whiskey
smell. Yeah. All right, man. Cheers. Yeah, that's whiskey.
Yeah, it's good.
That other stuff ain't whiskey. Something else. at least on the rocks.
Yeah, at least you could tell you're drinking whiskey with this one. Has a better smell already. It smells like a whiskey, not a vodka. Smell is let's see, it's a little sweeter, I would say, than what it was neat, but
yeah,
honestly, you could tell this is Crown. Like Crown has a smell. This is
it's so light. Like this is like a nice hot day ice whiskey, like on the ice.
You know what? Whiskey's good on a hot day. That Brothers Bond. That one is perfect for a hot day.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that this is yeah, definitely more of a summer on the rocks.
I'd lean towards
that. It does, I mean, it's losing flavor. It is losing some of its flavor for sure.
I was about to say that the
first one's pretty good.
I think I just went past the peak of how good it was, and now it's just starting to climb. Which I'll be honest, this is chewing up the ice pretty quick as well.
Is it?
For me, anyway.
Not mine.
Yeah, mine's gone down quite a bit.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, yeah, not as fast as Pendleton, that's for sure. But pretty good. Yeah. I mean, it's not like where I'm at right now. It's like 90. It's like 80. It's hot. Yeah. My house. I'm sweating over here.
Yeah, you don't have AC. I don't know how you do it.
I'm used to it. So,
dude, I'd fucking die.
I work in the hot, the sun and the outdoors.
There's one thing working in the heat, but I cannot fucking stand coming home.
Oh no,
out of my house.
My room's not hot. I put the AC on in my room, but
what do you have it set to there?
Well, it's just a portable, movable one.
Yeah.
So I don't have a whole AC for my whole house. It's really light, man.
So
I'm
not liking the flavor now.
It's not as good as it sits for sure. It's turned into watered down. Yeah.
I'm not liking this taste now. Got to drink it quick.
Yeah. Yeah. Crown is definitely a light proof and a thin, like not a really hold the flavor kind of on the rocks. It's good in the beginning. It's definitely waned toward the end. So, but you get the nice vanilla and the oak and that whiskey. At least I'm getting whiskey flavor. I'm not getting
Oh no,
vodka.
it's definitely leaps and bounds above Pendleton as far as on the rocks. Um,
Yeah.
you I've said it before. You can tell you're drinking whiskey now. It has good smell. It still has a decent smell. I will say, definitely as it sits though, everybody, it it gets that watered down taste. It's not good. It's good at first, right when it's nice and chilled, like Cody was saying. Just it's good then. But if you're not wanting to chug a drink, then this may not be it for on the rocks.
Yeah, maybe it's not a summer one. It's because it's too hot out and it's just not gonna hold up in that ice long enough.
I'm not liking that. No. But yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
wasn't the greatest at the end there.
no. So
What do you think,
man,
bro?
well, I already wrote down my score. I feel like we're just powering through these two.
The on the rocks review is always faster because we got to drink it quicker.
Yeah, I give it a 3.5. So
yeah,
definitely like it better neat. And honestly, I think I'm being generous at 3.5. I think it should be maybe 3.4, but I'm trying to keep that first initial smell and taste.
Yeah.
In my mind, but as I sip on it, because I still got just a little bit to drink, it's just not that. It's not good.
I was at a 3.6 before, like, before in the beginning, and now I'm definitely I'm 3.5, 3.4 leading, so
That may be something we gotta actually play a factor into this, is not just the initial taste, but how is it after what, probably 10 minutes. Yeah, I say 3.4. So
okay.
Changing down to that. What do you think?
I was gonna just keep it at 3.5 just because it could be better if it wasn't such a hot day, but like it could last longer. For me anyways, it's so hot in my room right now, but
could be
I'm
better.
I'm cool with the 3.4.
Yeah. It's probably
I already wrote down 3.4, so okay. I'm good with that.
But like it's gonna taste good on a hot day. I agree with that. But with how fast the ice is melting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
really, how fast it's watered down now. Maybe it would be better wintertime, cool
wintertime. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Fall night, and that it could bump back up to 3.6. I wouldn't disagree with that score at all if it kept that initial flavor.
Yeah,
taste. But
I agree with that.
With everything, we haven't been talking that long, and it's just
yeah, 3.4. It potentially could be during the colder months of the year. 3.6 if it holds the flavor that we initially got.
Yeah.
There in the beginning. So, wow, man.
I agree. All right.
Pretty cool.
All right. Before we go make these old fashions, we've had them both 3 different ways now. What are you thinking, old fashioned wise? Who comes out on top?
Crown. Because it has that whiskey flavor. I just think it's gonna.
I'm gonna go with Pendleton, but at the same time, I agree with you, but I'm holding out for Pendleton. I really want them to shine here. They did really well with Coke, so
they probably will. But
this may be a cocktail type esque whiskey, so I'm really hoping it is.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and make this old fashioned Pendleton.
Yep, we'll be right back.
All right, welcome back, blue collar whiskey drinkers. So we got our Pendleton. I almost like Crown Pendleton on in the old fashioned. So we are reviewing Pendleton in the old fashioned. So yeah, I mean, first impressions, smells really good.
Yeah, I get a lot, you know, the citrus and
I get a lot
of
of the
course
citrus.
bitters,
That's pretty much the most, and the bitters that I'm smelling.
but I'm actually getting
I don't smell whiskey.
I'm getting an alcohol smell, so maybe it's that vodka smell again, but it smells good.
Yeah, it smells good.
So,
Definitely.
all right. Cheers, man.
Cheers, bro.
Oh. You don't like it?
Yeah, it's too weak. It's like, and I get the ethanol at the end.
I get the ethanol at the end, but I get good flavors all throughout. You don't?
I get, yeah, the good flavors are the orange, the simple.
No, I'm getting like an alcohol flavor. It's
Yeah,
not
I get.
it doesn't taste like a typical, you know, whiskey or bourbon, old fashioned, but it's good for, I'll be honest, it's better than what I was actually expecting because I was, you know, as much as
I
I
was
wanted
expecting it to
this,
be better.
really. Okay.
Um,
I have a feeling we're gonna
the
be on opposite ends on this one.
I mean the it tastes like vodka coming through at the end for me.
I'm not getting the vodka, but I'm just getting it. Definitely, it's not like it was on the rocks, that's for sure. I'm not getting that. I'm not getting any of that, honestly. It's, but it's not a whiskey. It's not like a American whiskey either.
No.
Like kind of ask what we're used to, or
Yeah, that's
even
true. This is a different
um,
category.
um,
I do need to take that into account.
it's different from Irish whiskeys that we've done. Hell, even the Scotch. But the Scotch was so like Scotch
The
is
Scotch was
Scotch.
good. Scotch was good in the old fashioned. I actually enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
This, I mean, I like the flavors because I like old fashioned, right? Like I like
Mhm.
those flavors.
Yeah.
So I already like it, but I don't like what it's producing at the end.
Okay.
Like if I was gonna, you know, if I were to pour vodka into this, like if I just made vodka and did an old fashioned vodka, I mean, I'm sure it'd be worse than this. I'd be obviously.
I think it'd be a lot worse.
I know, but I'm just like thinking aloud. Like this would remind me of that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
not as bad. Like this is obviously probably way better than that. I don't know. Shit, I'm gonna have to try that out one of these days.
Let me
it'd
know how it
probably
goes
be
for you.
it'll probably be brutal, but
But yeah, I right now I'm not gonna jump, but I'm gonna go ahead. Like I already got my score
oh, you
figured
already got
out.
it.
I'm not gonna write it down just yet, but I got it in my mind. I'm gonna let it
Gotcha.
sit. We're gonna talk here, sip on it for a little while. But yeah, so did Kelsey try it on the rocks?
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious.
What'd she
Her
say?
first impression, her first words were, "What the fuck?" And you know, very disturbed. I would have to say. Like I was laughing just because she's like, "Where is the whiskey? Like like what happened here?" Like basically how we were, just kind of mind blown. But
I'll be honest. I really can't wait to do the other ones though, because I really hope they're better. I really do.
the rye's better. I from what I
You've
remember.
yeah, but I'm just saying they had a lot of those cool bottles we were talking about last episode.
Yeah.
Um, again, everything they're about, they're just really, you know, I like
Yeah,
it,
I mean,
and I
I
want
think,
them to do good.
I think I maybe misspoke last episode. Uh, I'm pretty sure the whiskey's all made in Canada, but they bottle in Oregon and like the States.
Mhm.
because I went and looked up, that
Mount
uh,
Hood.
Mount Hood or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that was like somewhere in Canada, but believe it's in the state and
Yeah.
Oregon. But
Yeah.
anyways, so correct me if I'm wrong, people. We do, we do research, we do a lot of research, but we sometimes things are kind of hard to find, and then you read one thing and you read another thing and it's different here and different there, so it's like,
Well, and whenever it's a Canadian whiskey, you assume Canada. But yeah,
yeah,
I just looked it up. It's Oregon,
yeah,
our Oregon. But
yeah.
wow, it's a gorgeous place. Holy shit, I want to go.
Oh,
Like, gorgeous.
are you talking about the distillery or the bottling place?
Oh no, just Mount Hood.
Just Mount Hood.
I'm like, holy shit, I want to go there.
I would like this more if it wasn't for the end.
I'll be honest. You brought it up with the Crown on the rocks. This is I would say, a pretty good summer old fashioned. I know you don't like the aftertaste, but it's lighter.
Yeah, it's
And
like,
I'm getting pretty good citrus. I'm getting pretty, like, I taste the bitters. I taste, the simple. I taste the alcohol. I wouldn't call it a whiskey. It's a different old fashioned in my book, and it's easy to drink and it's light.
yeah. But do you like the end?
So I'm not getting so much of that aftertaste. I guess you
Yeah.
are. Like, I get a little bit of it, but it's gone. It's not like
Yeah,
lingering around for me.
I'm like really taking the end in, because I like the finish of drinks. I like to really like.
We're used to those bourbons that have that long finish or longer esque, and it just kind of the bourbon that whiskey
Yeah,
actually sits there.
I like to kind of
Don't get me
like
wrong.
tamper it in my mouth a little bit and kind of like
Yeah,
feel it, or taste it, feel it, whatever.
I'm still diehard. Like, if I have an option between, say, any one of our bourbons that we've not any, but majority of the ones we've done,
I would say
versus
any at this point.
No, we've had some bad ones.
I would say that, since this is our Canadian whiskey, first two,
Whoa.
these scores could go up, so
Up or
this
down?
is we're not like putting these up against the bourbons and too much. I mean, we have to kind of compare a little bit to something in our minds, but because we don't have a lot in this category yet. But as far as the Canadian whiskeys go, we're at that. We're right there. These may jump up a little bit depending on other whiskeys in
Yeah.
this
And I'll be honest with
category and everything.
Yeah, with the score I'm gonna give it, it may even go down in the future because we may come across Canadian whiskey. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is way better, but I don't think it's as high as this kind of thing. So, like, yeah, exactly what Cody's saying. It's first few, we're used to our bourbons, we're used to our ryes, we're used to those. So this is just a new category, but we have to compare to something. Future episodes with Canadian whiskeys, whenever we do those, this may change. So yeah, let's. Honestly, I think I'm ready. So, but you get to give your score first. So I'm kind of interested to hear what you got.
Sheesh, man. Yeah, I think it's like, it's decent, it's good. My problem with it is I feel like all the other flavors in the old fashioned take over more, and then I feel like there's that ending. I'm a stickler when it comes to the end taste. So having that little bit of ethanol-y vodka-ish kind of weird taste at the end throws me off a little bit. But given all that, it's still good.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of that is because of the citrus and the other stuff. But I'm gonna give it a. I'll give it a 3.4 at my peak. Like
Yeah.
that's about it for me on that. But like again, it could go up depending on other things, you know. Like
Yeah.
so. It's,
I'm not like opposite of you. I see your points. I'm just not getting that. I guess I'm just not getting that weird finish, as weird of a finish as you are, because I kind of get it. But what I'm tasting, yeah, I'm tasting all the notes of, citrus, got simple, like I definitely got the sugar in there. It's nice and sweet. The bitters, they're coming through,
yeah.
but there is an alcohol flavor that I'm getting, but it's not bad. I will say the lingering aspect of it, because it lingers just a slight hair for me. I do not like that, but everything else with it mixing together, I do enjoy. And then it's just probably about 3 seconds of that, and then it's gone for me. So, and even like right
Yeah.
now, this is not leaving a bad aftertaste like it was on the rocks. On the rocks was after we finished, I was just like, there's a bad aftertaste. I don't
You know
like
what's
it.
funny? Kelsey was surprised we gave it a 2.
What'd she think? Probably 1.5. Yeah, honestly, again, that one could go down easy.
It could. Yeah.
And it's funny,
It could.
this is actually the second, really second whiskey, second and third whiskeys.
Back to
With,
back.
I'm not going to count Crown, but you got Michter's and this that, okay, 3.6 neat is not that bad. It's good.
You know, Michter's, see, the thing with Michter's is it's better than this by a lot because, but like the price of it makes it go
Yes.
drop it. So like the reason why it's a lower score, even though it's a lot better than what this was, I mean, like 100, like so much better. The price of that is, 2.5 times this,
Yeah.
or,
But
so
again, like we dropped it down to a 2. I put a 2.2, and I'm wrong on that. I'll admit that. I was willing to go down to a 2, but I definitely see this on the rocks dropping in the future, unless, say, like the other Canadian whiskeys we got to try are just as bad, if not worse. That's the only way. Which I already know there may be a couple, but I'm not going to count all of them in that because there are some Canadian whiskeys I haven't had. I was looking at the shelf. I was like, wow, I haven't had,
there's quite a
few
few.
of these here.
I
Anyways, so my score, old fashioned, everybody, I gave it a 4. I'm trying to think about
a
it in
4.
a 4.
Holy fuck.
Shut up, Cody. Everybody listen to me. I wish I could mute them real quick. But all right, a 4, reason being, I like all the flavors. Yes, there's that slight aftertaste, about 3 seconds worth for me. Other than that, it's good. I gotta, like, we've talked about this multiple times. We were comparing them to the bourbons, we're comparing them to all the ones we've had. This is a new category. I think this is a good whiskey, or it's a good old fashioned. And I would put it up there at a 4. I think I'm high, but I just think I'm like, okay, this is a good flavor. Yeah, I'm getting all the flavors that are in an old fashioned to begin with, but it's good. Like I enjoy it. It's light. I don't feel like I just drank something that was overly sweet, sugary, where my stomach hurts or anything like that. I'm like, I could drink another one of these. This is, something I could sit there and sip on. So all that counted in, I'm like, okay, it's like a 3.8 to a 4 for me. So I went with the 4, and that was before Cody gave his score at a 3.4. So we'll probably settle what 3.7's middle ground. I'm not opposed to it. This is a new category for us, so I'm excited to see if this goes up. or it just stays at that 3.7 mark or goes down.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna find out real soon with another Canadian whiskey real quick here.
Yeah, pretty quick here. But that was my reasoning to even giving it a 4. I was
Yeah.
like, when we were talking, I was at like a 3.8, and way you were talking, I was like, fucking Cody's out of 3.0, 3.2 or something. I thought you were even lower than the 3.4, even though I was like, anyways, but I was just like, all right, 3.8. I think that's realistic. But I was like, this is just a new category. This could be the Canadian whiskeys. But at the same time, it could just be a fucking weird whiskey where we get a weird taste, we get all this weird stuff. Because we've talked about comparing Crown to Four Roses, which I think is a great comparison, even though they're two different. One's a bourbon, one's Canadian. As far as Coke goes, they're very comparable. They're very good.
Different
taste.
Yeah, different, just in different ways they're good. You know what I mean? Like
No, I agree. So, but yeah, that's the biggest reason why I went with the 4 was like, all right, this is a new category. We got to separate it. But I don't disagree with your score even, because hell, it could end up at a 3.4. So
yeah, I mean, I think I was at that was my low end. I would give it a 3.5, but I mean that was like that would be high for me.
Yeah.
So this is good. We're gonna sell a 3.7.
Yeah.
For this together, and that's good. I mean, like we've been discussing all night, this is a new category, Canadian whiskey category that we're doing. So I'm excited though. I'm really excited to see what Crown has to offer us.
So I think I lost, but I think Crown really comes out. It's going to be the Four Roses of Canada, I think.
Yeah. Canada's Four Roses.
Yeah. So I think it's going to do good. Everything it was good pretty much every way. Like, the aftertaste, everything with on the rocks. But honestly, if I'm drinking a Crown, I'm definitely going to Coke right now. Anyways, we'll see how the old fashioned is. But even neat's not that bad. It's such a smooth whiskey for Crown. And that's
that's a nice easy summer. Like if you're drinking a summer neat whiskey, that's an easy one to drink. If you're just don't want some like really bourbon burn, like that.
Oh, I agree.
In the summer, Crown's a good alternative.
That's why I was agreeing with you at first, but as you sipped on it on the rocks, it just got disappointing for me, because it is light, it's smooth, it's everything you want during a summer drink, but just did not finish well sitting there, because you're going to be sitting there in the heat. The melt's going to melt, or the ice is going to melt even faster.
So winter is actually when you should put ice in it.
Which Canada's a cold part of the, it's fucking so they're probably
they're used to it being cold.
Yeah.
Oh, your ice is melted quick. Oh, not over here.
Yeah. Well, because it's 40 degrees year around there.
Yeah. So that makes a difference for sure. Dude, I'm over here. Look at my arms. They're over here like glistening over here.
Yeah, I see them glistening. Look
at this shit. God damn. My arms look like I just went sun tanning or something, dude. That's just how
I'm saying. You look oily.
Fucking dude.
But man, I'm excited for this Crown. It's kind of sad to finish this Canadian set. We've been looking forward to this. This is the last one. We'll definitely get more Crown. I'm not saying this is the last one, but just last one for this versus. Definitely not the way I thought it would turn out tonight.
I didn't either. I really thought this was going to be like completely Pendleton's night. Like I just
Yep.
thought it was gonna
We
like the
talked
whole
about it last episode.
yeah, I thought the whole script was going to flip just to the way, but we're, that's just
It's
it goes. That just goes to show that you cannot judge a book by its cover, especially like even if like we were trying to judge it last week, that we thought it was going to be like you know way better these ways,
yeah,
and fuck, this is why we do this because
yeah.
we're
And
fucking wrong.
well, we were wrong, and it was just like we got. I think personally, we both got used to. Okay, this whiskey's good this way, but this whiskey's probably going to come back this way, and because we've had that happen, and I think we've gotten used to that.
Yeah,
So, in a
yeah, and
way,
just our minds going like, oh well, it it had this characteristic, so it should be better,
yeah.
right?
So,
But
but then again, we're just a couple blue collar guys like y'all, and we don't know shit compared to these guys who actually try this stuff for a living or do whatever they do. Thank you for
yeah,
doing this, but we're just blue collar guys. So
although we have done quite a few whiskeys now in our time, and we have a pretty good perspective of what's especially now that we've grown through
yes,
the 2 years that we've been doing the podcast. But I mean, we were drinking whiskey since we were young, so
yeah,
but
we
obviously
stuck to
it's
what we
different
do.
though. It's yeah, exactly. So it's totally different. Uh, we've branched out in the last 2 years. I mean, I was doing a little bit before that branching out, but like
A little bit, yeah. I'm
yeah,
the
a little bit.
same.
But now it's like just worlds of different. I see like this, and this. And I just want to get it, because I just want to try
Well,
it.
yeah, and I was talking to this guy. He was a whiskey guy, so that's why him and I talked for. We talked for like 40 minutes at the liquor store. He's like, man, you're still young, like
I had a
you're.
couple.
But he was like telling me that on these other whiskeys, because it's funny because I go in sometimes now, kind of not cocky, but I'm like, some of these kids are like, hey, do you need help? I'm like, I'm okay. I know more than you, kind of thing. But
You're
this
trying to pull
guy,
the Ron. What is it,
Ron Swanson,
Swanson?
but this guy, I was just like, he came up and we're talking, and I didn't think that about him at all. Like right off the bat, I knew what the hell he was talking about, and he was spot on.
Yeah.
But him and I were just going, talking back and forth and everything. And then he started, was like, oh yeah, this whiskey. I'm like, fuck, there's so many whiskeys I haven't tried, and this guy's had them. And I'm like,
Dude.
there's a lot out there.
Oh
We're gonna
man.
do the Crown and Old Fashioned here. I'm looking forward to it. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Blue Collar Whiskey Drinkers. We got our Old Fashioned Crown and Royal here. So pretty good looking color, honestly. It's just amazing, like just with the different lighting on both our sides. Like mine
Right.
has that more maple look, yours has that more, citrus look in a sense on
Yeah.
my view. So, but hey, cheers.
Cheers, man. There we go. I like that. Very good. I like I just feel like I'm drinking like a whiskey, more like a whiskey's in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ah, you're funny, man.
See, I'm not liking the aftertaste on this one. I get a great flavor, but I'm not liking this aftertaste. I don't know what it is.
Did you switch your bottles?
Mm-hmm. Rinsed out the shaker and everything.
No, that's good. I like it. I remember.
No, like that initial flavor, it hits. I'm like, okay, this is a whiskey, but then I'm not liking this aftertaste.
What does it taste like?
What
did you eat? Pizza?
Yeah, I had a piece of pizza.
Yeah.
But it was half of a pizza, like half of the other slice, because I actually snacked on one. I don't think it was right before the old fashioned. Maybe it was actually right after. Yeah,
It's
no, it
good.
was right after
Um,
the Pendleton
yeah, I
because
mean
I needed
the
something.
the finish isn't great. I mean, compared to what we're used to, but I do like how it's just the whiskey's there. Like you feel the whiskey right off the bat, like in the beginning, like it's you're drinking a whiskey more than like for me, the Pendleton was like it
Okay.
was there, but just like it just wasn't, excuse me, it wasn't like as pronounced as
Yeah,
this.
no, yeah. See, in there, after sitting for a little bit, it tastes good.
Yeah.
Or the finish isn't as strong as what it was.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I like this. I definitely think this is more in our what we're used to realm.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Um, so that's good. I think it has a good, balance of the whiskey in the beginning, and it actually shows up.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
Pendleton. It was good. It just
the whiskey
for
didn't
me,
show up.
yeah, the whiskey didn't show
Yeah,
up, and
no, I
then for
agree.
me, the ending was I was getting that damn vodka a little bit at the end.
See, like with the Pendleton, I wasn't getting that at all. But like, there was something weird about it on the finish. I agree with that, but it wasn't like long or anything. It was like 3 seconds
Oh, it
long.
wasn't long, but like I like I don't know, swirl the end in my mouth like for a while and kind of just get like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, how I dissect it, but the
Yeah.
end of it, I just kind of like keep it in my mouth a little longer and like toss around. Even after I swallow like most of it, I still have a little bit in there that I'm like kind of dissecting, and it's like,
So, what's this leaving as far as a finish for you?
uh, yeah, it's not. It's got a little bit of a bitter, um,
Maybe bitter
almost
is more of the word, but it's
bitter
like
and
that moldy.
almost like a beer, like a how like some IPAs kind of leave
An
like
old beer.
like a yeast, like something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like that moldy.
Yeah, I mean, not like crazy bad, like, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. But like
Um,
mine is like sitting there on the back of my tongue.
yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe like you were saying, I switched it around. I let it sit on my tongue for a little while, but now it's just there.
That tastes good. I don't
It,
know, man. Yeah, it's got a
no,
little
it's
bit
a.
of funky after, but
Anyways, I'm gonna let it ponder. But it's something Cody and I were talking about before we came back. I'm having a boy. He's gonna be born January, and so wife agreed on the name of Odin, and that was pretty cool for me. Cody
pretty
was like,
cool.
"Oh shit, we haven't talked about this in a few weeks," and yeah, it's been
Like
pretty
I
much
remember
the
you
past few
tossed,
weeks.
yeah, you like tossed a few different names around, and I knew you were
Yeah,
kind of like leaning towards some of the Viking kind of style names. And but yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome. I love
yeah.
it.
So Odin, I was just thinking about this. Do I gotta go first?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
brought us in.
Come on.
Kelsey couldn't believe your other sport.
What? She didn't like it?
Oh, dude.
Dude, we have to have like some different batch or something.
No, she just was like, it's not a 4.
I get it
It's
if you're
funny.
comparing to other whiskeys, but
Yeah.
I'll be
No,
honest.
yeah. I mean, that's probably. I mean, that's all she has. I mean, she doesn't have much. Like, she didn't have. I mean, we don't have much to go off of. I mean, besides for Canadian. I mean, so realistically, yeah, she's probably in her mind comparing it to what she's used to.
So,
But
all right. Anyways, let me talk about this. This crap, like the initial taste, I'm getting that whiskey. It tastes good. I like it. And then that finish, I still got it on the back of my tongue and I fucking hate it right now. It's like, it's not as bad as what it was with Pendleton on the rocks, but it's just lingering on there. Before that, I would be willing to be like at a 4, 4.1 esque with this old fashioned. And agreeing to the 3.7, even like yeah, my score was wrong as far as Pendleton goes. But with this finish, I want 3.8 at best for me. 3.9 maybe, but 3.8 is where
yeah.
I'm going to be for this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not much higher than that. I think it's 4.1 at best. I mean, I don't think it's any higher than that.
Okay. So I'm going to leave it up to you.
So you're at a
Just
4.8 or 3.8.
3.8. So I'll leave it up to you to pick between 3.9 and 4.0.
I think it's a 4.0.
Okay.
And it may change. It may go down.
I bet it goes down. I'll be honest. Yeah, initial taste, if that was the taste, it would be fucking, yeah, 4 all day long, if not a little bit higher. Just this finish, I gotta get some water.
I don't have that. I don't have any bad finish at all. So I don't have like that. What you're talking about. So I don't know.
2 best ways for both of them. Coke, period.
Yeah, these are mixed. I mean, they're mixing whiskeys. Crown's a little bit better. It's more neutral. It could be done anyway, depending on seasons and temperature where you're at. But it's more of a neutral esque whiskey.
Yeah.
In our opinion, based on our scores. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Based on our scores, Pendleton, not so much. On the rock was.
It fluctuates way too much. It really does.
Yeah, with On the Rocks, I mean, fuck, dude. I have not ever had a whiskey that tastes like vodka before. So that was the biggest.
That was new.
That was new to me. Biggest, drop off.
Oh.
What do you got, dude? What do you got for scores?
Obviously, Crown. There's, even if it was given a 3.8, there's no way that Pendleton would have won. It was just way too much. But anyways, so for Crown, I'm gonna just run through them all real quick. Neat, we gave it a 3.8, 4.5 Coke, which I agree with all day long with that. 3.4 on the rocks, and then a 4.0 old fashioned. That it comes out to a 3.9. So Crown obviously won. 3.9 whiskey. And I'll be honest, with the Coke way, yeah, I definitely agree with that. I definitely like Neat.
Yeah, overall, I think that's a good one.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm just saying, like with neat, I definitely like it neat over the other two ways. So
Yeah.
it goes Coke and neat for me. Old fashioned definitely is up there. Just my biggest hiccup. Great initial taste. You could tell you're drinking a whiskey for me. It just there's a finish for me. It lingers on the back of the tongue. I didn't like it.
You talk
But that
which one
was
which one are you talking
Crown
about?
still.
Yeah, yeah.
And then on the rocks, just it wasn't terrible, wasn't bad, wasn't the greatest, but it was good. It wasn't anything to
Yeah.
write home about. So
It lost its flavor quickly.
yes, I like Cody pointed out at the beginning of it was like, oh, this is good summer, and then it just got watered down really quick.
And they were like, oh
And
no, this is probably better winter.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what really brought it down on the rocks because rocks would have been a little bit higher,
Yeah.
definitely. But let's switch over to Pendleton. Pendleton, we gave it a 3.6 neat. We will be actually. I'm gonna do Pendleton neat probably after this. After everything's been open for a little bit, just kind of see if that's accurate, which I think it is. I don't see that one fluctuating much, but I'm
Yeah,
just
we
gonna
we had it open a week before.
yeah.
So we did a pretty good job on that.
And then Coke 4.2, so it's a solid whiskey and Coke. Not as good as the Crown, but it's still pretty damn good. Um, on the rocks, it just fell apart and fell apart bad.
Mm.
Cody talked about the vodka, and I agree. It tasted like vodka. This is one whiskey like the Michter's, but I would almost say slightly worse
Oh,
as
it's
far
worse.
as the drop off went. I just see this one dropping more. Um, I don't think there's any redeeming qualities with it on the rocks. I could
Not if you're a
definitely,
whiskey person. No.
yeah, I could definitely see this one dropping further. But please check it out, try it yourself. Let us know what you think. Maybe we're full of shit. Um, maybe we're just whatever. Then let's go to old fashioned. Old fashioned. This one, Cody and I, we were kind of not opposites, but we were just on different ends of the spectrum. I liked it. There was uniqueness about it as far as you're able to pinpoint all the flavors for me, uh, but the whiskey flavor doesn't stick out. So it wasn't like our bourbon or rye that we're used to and we really love. So I gave it a 4, but I'm not opposed to the score we gave it to at a 3.7. I think that's where it should be.
Yeah.
I just could see this old fashioned fluctuating up or even down. Um, I'll be honest, not in comparison to the ground, but it's just I think they're right there. There's just some better qualities with the Crown as far as initial flavor goes over uh Pendleton. But
Yeah,
then there's
it's
that
more like
finish.
actual whiskey flavor.
Yeah, but then there's that finish with the Crown that I just absolutely hate right now with old fashioned. So that's my only hiccup. But overall 3.4, which I think is respectable. Even with that on the rocks, that one could just fall. I
Wow, I'm
wouldn't.
surprised it's a 3.4.
Oh yeah, I was too actually. I just that. I'll be honest, everybody. That rocks really just killed it for me.
It was
I
so
will never drink that
horrible.
one again. Rocks. I'll drink Michter's rye on the
Oh,
rocks any
for
day.
sure. The only problem with that is it's $50.
Yeah,
That's
but still,
why I was like, but even then, I'd rather have that than that,
yeah.
for sure. Even though it's $50, I'd rather spend $50 and drink that on the rocks than I would. Yeah. And it's funny, the Michter's one, I was pretty down on it. I don't know if you remember, like I was like, oh man, this is not good.
Yeah, no, I got the
Like
story right here.
it's just so funny. Like I did not think we'd have another one that was
I was being very
worse,
generous on my
very that
score.
quick, like that quickly.
We could have got dropped in I think Michter's will drop on the rocks, especially in that category. I could see
Yeah,
that score
yeah,
changing.
yeah. I think it could drop maybe a little bit, but I don't.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now. I definitely see it dropping, but I see this one dropping first.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
fuck. I don't know.
honestly,
I don't drink much Canadian whiskey, so I don't know what else is out there much besides
honestly, I think the only thing
Crown.
that's going to be worse than this is R&R.
There. Oh, I bet you there'd be some other ones.
I'm sure there is, but the ones that I know, I
R and
think
R. Oh.
R&R. It just, yeah. But anyways,
Hey, we got to give it an honest chance. We'll review it at
yeah,
some point and stage. I really don't want to, but we'll do it.
yeah. Well, and, Crown, good job.
Well, hey man, this has been a great episode. I'm so glad we got to do another verses and uh, bringing into Canadian whiskeys we haven't done before, so that's cool. I'm sure our listeners are like, get back to your whiskeys,
Yeah.
like
Well,
American
why don't
bourbons
you
and
tell them the
rye.
other two whiskeys we got planned out?
All right, everybody. So we got two of the ugly ryes. Okay, I would say these are probably the ugliest bottles out there. So we got the what is it? The Rittenhouse
Yeah.
rye.
Rittenhouse
Okay, the
Rye.
Rittenhouse rye 100 proof. That was not too badly ugly. Now the we're going to be doing the what is it? Old Overholt
Yeah, I think that's what it
rye.
is.
Bonded, so both 100 proof rye, bonded whiskeys.
Yeah,
The
old Overholt.
old Overholt looks like, if you look at it, you would think it's a just bottom shelf, just disgusting looking. I don't like the labeling. It's just ugly. My bottle's ugly. Rittenhouse, I would say a little better, but those are the two verses we're going to be doing it for rye. So I'm excited though, because I've heard
Yes.
mixed reviews of both, and we both haven't had those two
Well,
ryes.
I've had the Rittenhouse.
Okay, Robbie's had the Rittenhouse. I haven't had it. So I'm excited because
Yeah.
I have no idea. Um, so those are our two ryes we're doing for our next versus episodes, which will be coming up here. Um, so I'm excited about that.
Oh, me too. I think I was talking to the guy at the liquor store. I think we're going to be surprised on
I
hopefully
think,
one of them.
yeah, I think they're sleepers, man. We
There
got,
may be sleepers. We're judging a book by its cover.
exactly. I think there's some
Um,
sleeper vibe coming off these
we'll
two.
we'll talk about these more whenever we go to do them, because I don't want to give anything away or anything like that. I want to go into them with a blank slate, even though I've had the Rittenhouse. Wasn't my favorite, but I'm not, that's all I'm going to say about it. Also, so after that, we will have a guest episode. So I'll have my buddy Jake on. He still has to pick his whiskey. So Jake, pick your whiskey.
Well, we can't even talk about it until he picks his whiskey.
Yeah, I know. But he'll pick his whiskey.
Hurry up, Jake. Pick your whiskey.
He'll bring it
Okay.
on. But yeah,
dude, Kyle called me. He's yipping at the heels to fucking.
yeah, we got to get Kyle on. And hey, kind of two things. Probably next episode, I will be in a different setting, and so will Cody. Maybe you.
Oh, I haven't even talked about what I'm doing. shit. I'm finally building kind of my man cave bar podcast studio, almost like.
Yeah.
It's finally underway. Just got all the drywall done. Starting to do the plumbing for the bar sink and all that. I got my sink. I got my plumbing kind of laid out. Pretty much installed everything so far. I just gotta finish cutting out and mocking up the plumbing, and that will be in. And then I'm gonna build the bar. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited. Maybe I'll post some pictures of like the start,
Before and
and
after.
before and after of like, what it was, and
Yeah.
let you guys kind of
Definitely.
let our listeners and everybody see kind of, I mean, we're going from, I'm in a room, I'm in a bedroom. I mean, obviously this is nothing special, and I apologize for all our listeners. It's just a disgusting looking room. It's just empty, but that's all I have right now, and that's what I'm working with. But I've been working hard, and I'm trying to expand and make a nice room, and Robbie is too, to do our show, and
Yeah.
really, uh, have something cool, and that we can, do our shows on. So we're excited. Robbie's excited. He's building his room out.
Yeah. Mine's
I'm
gonna be a little
doing the
different.
same.
It's still gonna be a room. Not gonna do the bar just yet. Got the kid on the way, so we're just gonna focus on the room. No need to try to build a bar on top of everything else. So, but that will be in the works. Kind of want to make my bar resemble Cody's, be close to it anyway. That way, it looks good. But my room, can't wait to actually get it done. It won't be probably 100%, but I will most likely be in it the next episode, just because we're going to be
That's
moving
cool,
stuff.
dude.
I'm actually building on it. Tomorrow we're going to move a lot of stuff over tomorrow, so a lot of this stuff will be over there probably tomorrow, if not middle of next week, before we do the podcast. So yeah, lots of
Cool
stuff
changes.
going. Yeah. So
Yeah.
anything else, Cody?
No, man. Just if you're listening, you get to see us, progress and grow through our stages of our rooms, the way we've, progressed throughout our whiskey experience and tasting and reviewing and all that. So
Yeah.
stay tuned. We're only going to be doing bigger and better things, and
Yep.
cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Like always, good vibes.
Drink responsibly.
And drink responsibly, and cheers, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.